Thank you so much for
Ah,
joining me.
hey.
Where did you first fall in love with nature, or how did it happen? Is there a time in your childhood or an experience that really changed it for you? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, I do remember that nature's always had a big place in my life since I was little. So I grew up in France, in Strasbourg, and I remember going for. I mean, I was little. I don't know how much I remember, but I have a romantic memory of going for hikes with my parents in the
Mhm.
Vosges, in the mountains, and then especially when I started horse riding. So apparently, my parents, they just happened to walk by a little auberge, a little, you could go there and eat a delicious Alsatian meal, and then you could go for a ride. So also parents could come and drop off their kids, and the kids would go horse riding for a few hours, and then they'd come back and have a meal together and drive home. That's typically what we did. So I was actually, and it was just by accident because my parents don't ride horses. They just went by this place and saw a tall, bearded man with two small ponies and took me there. And it turned out that I really enjoyed it. So actually, my earliest memories of nature are with horses or with ponies. So I started at 3.5. Obviously, at that age, you don't ride that much, but you have the impression that your pony is huge
I mean,
because
yeah.
you're so small. Yeah, so I have lots of memories of being in basically every summer and every other. I think we used to go quite often. So every other weekend, or we'd be up there, and my parents would drop me. Like the older I got, the more time I could spend there. Be there at the weekend for a whole day or for a whole weekend. You could stay overnight as well. So I would be there in the summertime, maybe spend a week at the stables and just ride and look after the horses and with other kids of my age. And that would, yeah, so lots of memories of being with horses in the woods and with other kids and having fun. So I think nature has always been, yeah, safe place, I would say, a place of fun and adventure and retreat and discovery and yeah, adventure especially. I think my love extends to all animals. I am very fond of animals and I love dogs and I've got a cat and I'm yeah, I feel really a connection with animals
Yeah.
and the potential we have to, yeah, to become better people because they're in a position where humans are in a position of power and we have therefore responsibility to treat animals well, to understand them, to be able to respect their needs.
Yeah.
And I would say that has, yeah, it has its difficulties, has its moments where you don't understand each other and you have to take a step back and, learn how to read the animal and understand what their needs are and what they're expressing. And I think it just makes you a better person.
It's really incredible to see that from the access of running into this, in at like 3 years old, it like flourished this entire passion of yours. I feel like a lot of people don't have that exposure to nature
hmm
um, in their life. If they grow up in the city, it's just harder to access it.
I've always really appreciated and, sought out moments in nature to connect with nature. And that is also something that I'm always trying to encourage in other people
Hmm.
whenever I meet them or whenever it's appropriate, that nature is a resource for us. Not only does it improve our mental health, but also our physical health. And just going for a walk in the woods, you can have some of your best ideas
Yeah.
away from your phone, away from the stress of your job or, your responsibilities and things that have to be done at home. And when you go out for a walk, you can just be free of all that. And I think that freedom brings with it the possibility to have new ideas that can actually be really important for the direction that you take in your life. So it's, yeah, connecting with nature is like so core to our happiness, I think.
Even just hearing you speak, I can tell that you're a writer. I would assume it's a big part of your life. You do it as a job and, you have a blog. Is there a certain way that you get inspired to write? What's the process like?
The work really that I do for myself, so my blog or my poems, I'm actually working on a photography and poetry book. So my personal writing is all basically inspired by nature. So going for yeah, nature and then photography because I'm also passionate about photography. So I love to go out into nature with my camera and just be in the moment and capture lights, shadows, leaves, roots, moss, yeah, just be in nature and capture what I see and be very much open and aware of what is going on around me and then trying to capture that. And then I can go home and go through my photos that I've taken on my walks or on my hikes and or even out horse riding. I either have a camera or my mobile phone.
The horse
Yeah,
ride.
I've done it with my camera, but even with my camera, with my phone, I've also taken pictures riding and then when I come home and I look at them, I open them in a photo editing software and I start looking and thinking, okay, how shall I, how can I improve the photo? And then it inspires me to write as well. I'd open up the photos and I would just write, remembering the experience at the time when I was there and taking the photos, and then also my what I feel at the time that I'm writing. So and then I just started doing that as a habit this year, just taking the photos, choosing my favorite ones, editing them, and then just writing. What do I feel when I look at this photo? And it just came very naturally, and I got into a real flow. So a lot of the writing that I do is, born from experiences that I've had in nature that have challenged me or inspired me, or I have to sort of really get in there and experience and touch nature and feel it and smell it and just be very hands-on. And then I come back from that and it's inspired me to reflect on that experience and write about it.
It's interesting that you can make yourself present in nature and then, use photography and all these different mediums to then later on re-express how you felt in that moment. Are you working on any other projects that would align with nature?
I really felt like I wanted to reach people and I wanted it to be in a way which was more educational or more inspirational, or that I needed to put more effort in. And then the idea came, well, why not make a book? I really wanted to use the pictures and then have a little bit of text. Because I thought if I can put that together in a way which is accessible for other people, then I'm creating like a product, something you can hold in your hands.
Right.
And that can inspire you to go for a walk in your nearby park or to walk down to the lake or go for a little stroll by the beach or whatever it is. But it's a little like a pocketbook. That was really the idea. So at first it was the whole selection process, which are the best photos, and then the writing, all the writing I did this year, looking at the photos and writing and putting it all together. And then I had some feedback round as well. I sent it to several people to give me feedback, either on the poems or on the photographs. And now finally it's gone to the designer just like last Friday.
I find it's also hard with art. It always feels unfinished. It could always feel like you can add more, you could embellish
Oh,
more.
yeah.
So my last question would just be, well, being that we've talked about, nature, art, animals, writing. You also mentioned that you volunteer within spaces, putting at the forefront mental health. Do you see value in overlaying these types of topics together, or how they all are connected to each other?
I'm really glad to hear you can see a connection, because sometimes I worry that I'm too dispersed, that I'm quite a creative and energetic person, and I can kind of disperse and do quite a lot of things. So it's reassuring to see that you also feel that there is a connection there, because I definitely feel that there is a connection between my love for nature and also my awareness of my need to protect my own mental health and also to help other people take care of theirs. So my volunteering is actually a huge part of my life. Like I volunteer every week with the Red Cross, so taking people indoor rock climbing and bouldering. And this is something I really, really enjoy. It's an activity I enjoy. I do it in the evening after my working day. So usually I'm like, oh, really tired now. But then when I get there and I meet the people and we go to the climbing gym and we start climbing, then all that tiredness has disappeared because there's such a sense of community. And I really feel that my time is valued, that I'm creating and I'm part of something bigger than myself, that I'm creating a nice atmosphere for people to be comfortable, make new friends, make new connections, and learn how to climb. So it's really for adults who are in a vulnerable or difficult place in their lives. And these are often like the nicest people I meet, really.
Yeah.
So I really feel the value of what I'm doing, and that people need each other. Not only do I need other people because I've maybe had a tiring or frustrating day in the office, but other people may have also just been waiting for the evening because they don't have a job right now, or they're on social care, or they're not earning a lot, or they don't have a great network, or they're trying to rebuild their lives, and then they meet, and then we all meet in this for a couple of hours in an evening. and then we gel, and you have I experience a really positive environment where we're all in it together and learning to climb and supporting each other, and I just find that extremely rewarding. So I do that pretty much every week.
And it also gives room for discovery, like you said at the beginning, that nature just gives you that chance to discover so much.
And then also it gives it gives the possibility for people to connect with themselves through the activity, whether it's going for a walk, like yesterday, the hiking group, connecting with nature, or climbing, connecting with yourself and being faced with your fear. Sometimes people, you get scared. Oh, it's high, or oh, what if I fall now? You meet yourself and you meet other people. And I think it's very, very important part of rehabilitation is that being able to meet other people and being able to meet yourself and to face your challenges and go through them, make your way past them.
Yeah, this is just making me want to take more time to volunteer.
Well, look, take care. Thanks so much,
Thank you
Isabelle,
so
Kim.
much.
It's been lovely.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.